Now that you've complete both templates, you have template A right over here. We did it overlock over cast stitch in the front. We also sewed the back. We made a pocket for our strap, and you will see how everything comes together. We also have template B, again, right over here. We did the overlock over cast stitch as well as in the back there. What I'd like you to do is open it up just like this. The outer surface of the fabric goes with the outer surface of the fabric. Start into the center line, pay close attention to where the nose piece is, right over here. I will line it up, and you see how this one edge goes to the left, this other edge goes to the right. Be very careful when you sew it not to impinge or lock those areas in. And you see how this goes? We're going to end up sewing it all the way to template B's mark. Same thing for the bottom. When we do the bottom, make sure that it is right into the center, right over there. And this one is actually reversed where it goes to the right, and this one goes to the left. Again, this is very tricky because it is a round curve, a comfort fit around the face mask. So we want to make sure that things are aligned properly in this case. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start stitching this here. I like to make sure that this is straight. You see how if you do not do it right over here, this will have an opening. So that's why it's very important that we go from the center and we align this straight just like this. And you see how that ends at this mark. So again, overlock over cast stitch, align it right over here. Do not start from the top. If you start from the top right here, you will lock in the ear loop piece. So you do not do that. You want to start right about this edge right over here. Very, very important. Again, these templates are 3D templates because they will fit comfortably to the face, so you need to make sure we follow the edges right over there. Again, here we go. We're going to go ahead and start on this right over here. Let the machine do its job right there. Make sure we protect your fingers right over here. When we get to this point, this is very, very important right over here. When we get to this point, sometimes this flap will try to fold in. Do not sew over that flap because that's actually where the nose piece is and right here. So you need to really, really pay attention to that, not to sew those pieces together. All right. So here we go. We're going to keep going. Continue right over here, right to the tip. Stop. And again, making sure that you did not sew that flap right into there. And you see how sometimes on the machine it goes right here and there's that flap. You need to be very, very careful in that area. So once you get over here, you saw how sometimes if you look at this, it may have that loop. That is not good, and so you want to make sure that we do follow the edge. When I have my needle down, I can always lift up the handle a little bit, and slowly I can try to pivot over just a little bit right over there. But again, I need to double check the fabric to make sure that it's not impinging on where the nose piece is. Okay, so here we go. Again, we're going to continue and making sure that we follow the edges right over here. This one gets a little tricky right here because of the reverse template. There you go. So when that happens, just slow down a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. Use my handy dandy little tool right over there just to reassess things. And again, try not to go through the whole area because this is the loop for the ear loop. If you sew through there, you're going to end up having to cut that out. And I tend to just lock right in this area here. So we were able to sew the top making sure that this flap doesn't get locked in. This is exactly what I was talking about. Now we're going to go down, and again from the center, make sure that the line is straight right over here, and start right here as well, going in this direction, making sure these are straight. And here we go. Once we get close to the center, again, be very careful because you do not want to sew this whole thing flapped over. And so you also want to double check on the bottom as well in that case. And just let the machine do its job right there, making sure that it's all nice and aligned. And again, be very careful because this is where that strap is going to be, so do not overdo that. And we'll lock that, and we'll cut that. And this is where the magic happens. So we have the overlock and an overcast stitch up on the top. We made sure not to have this fold in right here, because if you do, that's the easiest mistake, that it gets locked in. So this is all inside out, and you're like, hey, where is my mask? But before we do the next step, what I'd like you to do is get your scissors and really clean up some of these areas here, because these areas will then get stuck in the machine when you wash it, and it becomes either irritant or irritating, or what it can also do is pull your thread. And so now all you have to do is pull it inside out. And when you do this the first time, it looks really odd and weird and misshaped, but don't forget that this is a fitted mask. So when you do it like this and you have it contoured, voila, that is what it looks like from the front and the back, both really nice and fitted. Now afterwards, what we need to do is we're going to iron these edges right over here, and then we are also going to lock it with a nice straight stitch right over here to make it even more sturdy.